you guys connected me with the job that I have now at it's a labor union training facility who needed a videographer. But at the same exact time, I got a call back from NBC, and they wanted me to come back in for another job interview. And I was like, whoa, okay.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah. And so I went through that whole process with both jobs, and the job that I have now turned me down. And I was like, but I still had this NBC thing going on. So I got through that whole process, and they were just all in. They weren't really pressuring me like they did before.
Right.
And so they gave me a job offer. It was a really generous job offer. I thought, wow, this is great. They needed someone to kind of like take it. They didn't want the typical news kind of approach. They wanted someone who was more going to help them with the internet approach and YouTube approach. And so they thought I'd be a good fit for that. But before I could accept the job, the other place called me back and said, hey, the guy we hired, he just wanted us to be kind of like a client of his and didn't want to actually work here. So we want to hire you. And they gave me a job offer I couldn't refuse. I mean, when I was going to school here, I was kind of trying to prod at like Matt and Rob to see like how much money can someone make in this field, and they were kind of tight-lipped about it. Some people don't want to talk about their finances and stuff like that. But I got a job offer that just blew me away. I didn't know that I could make this type of money and have these type of benefits that I get now. And so I had a really tough choice. I had to turn down the NBC job, even though that was just like a dream opportunity. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine a situation where I would turn that down. But these folks made me a great offer, and it's been the best job I've ever had in my life. It's just incredible.
Well, and I think the big key is that everybody should know, coming to a school like this, we're going to give you the foundation, then you're going to kind of build off of it. And as you build off of it, those job openings will keep, coming and stuff like that. Now, yours went a little bit quicker. You 6 months, even before a year, you got to the level where you wanted to be. Usually it's a little bit longer than that. But, one thing that we got to tell students is not to get frustrated during that part. These are all resume building type jobs that are going to get you along the way. Yeah. Do you kind of see that as you were going through your part?
Absolutely. I had my disappointments. Like I said, I didn't get that first NBC job, and there were certain jobs that I was getting turned down for, and I was like, I don't know when this is gonna pay off. And you're right. It happened very quickly for me. But I think the difference between me and some of my classmates was, from day one, I was committed. Like, I have a child, and like, I have to make this happen. Right. I have to hustle. And so every ounce of my energy, even when I went home, I'm on YouTube. How do I do this? How do I do that? So I was learning here, but I was also going home and learning. Yeah. And so for me, there wasn't an option of like, I'm just going to kind of wait this out and see what happens. It was like, I got to get to work. And
right. Well, that's an important ingredient, and it's, work ethic of what you got to put into something. Yeah. So let's say somebody's walking down the street and they say, hey, where did you go get your training to do what you did and, whatnot? What would you say to somebody about a school like CSB?
I'd say definitely come here because you can afford it, first of all. I was able to pay off my stuff like fairly fast as well. And, the amount of, it's just like a condensed course that like you're going to come away with a well-rounded skill set, and you're going to find which avenues you want to go in. Like you could be talent, you could be behind the camera, you could be behind the microphone. For me, it was, I gravitated towards the camera because I didn't want to be in front. I know I'm 43 years old. I know I don't want to sit in front of a camera. I want to be behind the camera. And then I don't know what to say most of the time when I'm behind a microphone. So I just knew I was more confident with the camera. Right. And I liked that concept. So I just picked my lane and I just applied myself to that. And so even before I came here, I kind of knew where I wanted to go with it. Even though I entertained the other stuff a little bit while I was here, because it was fun. You get to have fun with your classmates and do some creative stuff. But I always knew like I'm going to be a cameraman and work behind the camera. Yeah. So I would just tell people, this is a great opportunity for you to change a career or get into a career that you're going to love, because it's just endlessly creative. And you can do a lot with it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast today and taking some time out of your time to come on down and share your story.
It's the least I can do. I owe you guys a lot, and I appreciate your help.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right.